Hello. So I wanted talk, to talk, and I was supposed to do a video today, but the thing was, the video from yesterday took 2 days to upload. When you put like a long ass video on YouTube, boy, it takes a long time to upload. So I'm gonna try to keep my videos not so long, like that one. That was very long, probably the longest one I ever did. I'm not gonna do that again. But I was like talking to my ex yesterday. I sold my truck and the tag was still on the vehicle. So I showed him the address so he can just go get the tag. But the person who bought the vehicle moved the truck. So I sent him the number. I know I did, but maybe I didn't. I don't know. But I believe I did. But he told me that he didn't see the tag when he went to the address. I know I sent the address and the number together. And I was like, how are the kids? And he's like, oh, the kids are the kids. They growing up. And I was like, that really upset me because nigga, I ain't seen my kids for 1 fucking year. And I see how my kids is. And that's what you tell me. And I was like, bitch, I see how the kids is, and all you tell me is just some general shit like this. You don't give me no pictures. You don't motherfucking let me call my kids or see them or nothing. I'm like, nigga, I'm nice to you, but don't, by no stretch of the imagination, don't think that I'm cool with you, nigga. I still know you a motherfucking pedophile. You know, you the reason I'm being gangsta. And bitch, your day is coming, you know? Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but bitch is coming. You feel me? I'm gonna tell you a quick story how I met this nigga. It's my birthday, by the way. But I was in my 20s, and I was being gang stalked. Gang stalked. I know I'm whispering. I don't know. I don't think I should whisper. This is a pretty big hotel, and the the walls are pretty good, or the installation is pretty good. Some hotels have cheap installation, but the one here is good. So I'm gonna just talk like normal. So I was in my 20s. I was being gang stalked, but I didn't know it. I tell you guys a story because of I was helping my friend, and they workplace mobbed me out of the job, and my cousin who just really upset me because like figuring out that this guy is definitely a gang stalker, because the first time like I wanted to just say, you know what, I can't pay my rent. The landlord put the eviction notice on the door, so I just was like, okay, I'm just gonna just leave, just pack my stuff and go. I called my cousin. I'm like, hey, can I come and stay with you? And he was like very like, no, you can't. No, he said you can, but he was like, I can't give you a ride though. I'm like, but like I have a lot of stuff. I'm like, who moves on the train? I mean, you have all that stuff. You have your clothes. You gotta get on a train and catch a bus with all that shit. And I have no suitcase. I just had like bags. So I'm like, I can't catch the train with those all that stuff. So I was like, no, I'm not. I'm just gonna have to thug it out. So on the street that I lived on, it's called Broadway. So I was on that street, and that's where all the hookers be. So I started working on there because I was looking for a job. But again, when you're being gang stalked, they can manipulate things in a certain way. Um, I I was being gang stalked at that time, and one of the gang stalkers was my ex. And it's like when you kind of like realize everything now. That's why you know they have this saying, "When you know better, you do better." That's definitely true because of the fact that my whole life since I was 13 years old, I had lost my virginity, and it's deep. But the thing was, it was like a program, and I did not really know it, and everybody was in it. And the way that you know that you're in some sort of gang stalking simulation is if there's a neighborhood watch in your neighborhood. The neighborhood watch is the connection. When I was a kid, I remembered that we had the neighborhood watch sign in our neighborhood, and when you're in this gang stalking program, you have an assigned something. That's what I believe. I remember that I was raised to be a housewife, and no, I'm not kidding. I don't know how, but it's like when I, because I grew up with my aunt, not my mom. My mom's from the Bahamas. She sent me here to America to live with my aunt, and my aunt was married, and she had 5 kids. She has 5 kids, and when I grew up, she always trained me to be a wife, like literally me. Everybody else had like different programs. And no, I'm not kidding. Like, you just look at how the children are raised. Look at how the children are raised. Okay? And they say you're the black sheep, but everybody else was raised differently. Okay. I remember, fixing the bed. You know, my aunt always had. She did it with me and my little cousin, but she did it with me, and me I did it with my little cousin. But I didn't like drill her like my aunt did. I was like, all right, this is how you do it. That's it. My aunt was like, all right, put your head up, roll it back. She was not like that, but she was very strict. And you know, even to cooking, she was like, you gotta pay attention. Like every time, like I would always say like, everybody's playing outside. I'm like 8, maybe probably like 9 or 10, and I'm like, everybody's playing outside, and I gotta be here learning how to fucking fix a bed and fucking cook chicken. I hate this. And she's like, shut up. She's like, one day you're gonna have a husband and you're gonna thank me. And I'm like, who cares about a fucking husband? But she always said that, your husband, your husband, your husband, your husband, your husband, your husband. Like, it's drilled in my head. You have to be, this is what you have to be. You're a wife. That's your criteria. And this is how you be a wife. And, you see things like, sometimes in your family, in general, you might see infidelities and certain things, and you notice that the family member always stays, and that's a part of the program. You see, that's how the couple thing works. And of course, you got people who cheat, people who leave each other, stuff like that. But for the most part, the program is you gotta stay together no matter fucking what. And no. So as a child, I remember, you know, the program being in the neighborhood, because I really kind of sort of had time to really reflect on a lot of things, and so I was trained. I guess I was assigned and given the task that, okay, you're gonna be married. Um, Most of my cousins, they had the option to go to school or some shit like that, but me, like, I had to be married off because that was my role. And as soon as I was 18, around the time I told you I was talking to this gang stalker who was a painter, I met this my first husband, and I was love bombed, you know. And any person who is a targeted individual knows what love bomb is, where you're looking, or maybe you're not looking, and you meet someone and they like sweep you off your feet, and they want to be in love so fast where you barely have time. But I'm just like kind of skipping too far because I'm trying to get to the story about my fucking stupid idiot ex. This or current one. I was married twice. Um, but with this the first one, he love bombed me, and it kind of like, I don't know, it was like training me for years and years with every single relationship. It's a program. It trains you with the men. Like they give you a bunch of bad shitty men, and they give you like a decent one. Like he'll have like a lot of good attributes, like a job. He might be handsome, maybe good sex, maybe even rich, but he'll always be a sexual deviant without a shadow of a doubt. He's a homo, he's a pedo. And I mean, you want to be homo, that's fine, but they be in the closet. And the thing with my other ex, this one, I was being gang stalked because I was helping my friend, and I stopped helping her, but I still was kind of like being gang stalked still. And um, I'm so sorry. I met my ex, he was gang stalking me. They always did little white cars riding around. And I remember that I think I had saw him or something. And I remember I was going for a jog one day in this neighborhood across the street from where I lived. And I had been gang stalked before that because when I would go jogging, this guy would be outside, kind of like being a pervert, watching me, I guess, with no shirt on, washing his car. And his wife was a total bitch for the neighborhood watch. And I started her pointing at me one day, and the cops was with her, and she pointed right at my place, and I happened to be outside. And that pointing shit is gang stalking. So I kind of noticed the cops following me even back then, but I didn't know what it was called. I just kept telling my cousin, the cops keep following me, the cops keep following me, but I just didn't know why. So my ex says that he just got, this is how this thing works, you see. He just got, supposedly, or that's the story they told him, he just got this job that happened to be right on the route where I live. And he could have took the highway, which he always does, but for some reason, something told him to take that route that he took, which is the strip that I was on. And we met, and of course he had the white vehicle and a blue shirt, but I didn't know anything at the time. I'm just thinking this is just a John, and we get together or whatever. And I never think to myself, this guy is gonna be the love of my life. I just put like he paid the most out of most of my customers. That's what I would say. And he talked a lot, and I listened because you paying me to listen. And I don't know. He came to me one day with this deal, and it was like they had to listen. You have to get her, because I don't know. He had, like I said, they give you a bunch of bad ones, and then they give you like a really decent one, and he was decent, like all around. But like the two things that was like the deal breaker was, one, he was a sexual deviant, and he was like one of those people that you just can't fix anymore. He had just been broken so bad that he was old. He's 50 something years old, been doing this for years. That nothing can change him. You know, and then there's the pedophilia of touching your own child. That's just fucking gross. But that's the society we live in. But that's how far back this gang stalking program goes. Like I mean, it's everywhere. But for sure, if you have that neighborhood watch shit in your neighborhood, you definitely got gang stalkers in your neighborhood. And that's not like, oh maybe, but like 100%. I know they're everywhere, but I know without a shadow of a doubt, the neighborhoods that have the little um police watch thing, they definitely do have them, and I don't know how. It's just very strange to kind of like explain, like just like realizing patterns in life. That's why I usually like to date every other. Like I said, this time around, that's why I did things differently. Usually, I'm always dating and being a thought and doing some crazy stuff. And yes, I have children, but my children aren't with me. And if there was some sort of mom, a lot of moms, young moms especially, that be out here thoughting. But I'm always thinking about my children because they're the ones that I definitely try to fight for. And damn it, I know I ain't fucking my train of thought again. every video, every video. I gotta stop smoking pot. I do. Um, oh, we can't talk about my kids. What was before that? Stupid asshole pedophile. You don't want to change. Trying to remember. And I just woke up. By the way, sorry for the messy look, I guess. I don't know. Trying to remember. I can imagine myself watching this video saying, "Oh my god, this is what you're supposed to be saying. This ass is stupid." But hindsight is 2020. Um, I could just try to pick off where I left. This gay stalking program, it goes very deep, and it's like it's always been here. It's not just a program; it's how society runs. But there's certain like markers and things that are like 100% sure that you can know. Okay, we're definitely in some sort of simulation, and the neighborhoods with the neighborhood watch definitely have that simulation vibe because where I was parked at, they had that big, you know, sign that had the neighborhood watch, but it had a big eye in there. It had an eye, you know. So I'm just kind of like looking at everything, but I was texting my ex. That's what happened. I texted him. I'm like, listen, nigga, you gonna get yours, and he never responds, of course. But the thing is that I don't know where I was gonna go with this guy. Okay. Oh yes. So he's a jerk. He doesn't let me see my children. He's pretty much holding them hostage for me. That's abuse. But that's not his fault. It's these people's fault because they're the ones telling him and allowing him. This the guy is scared. He's scared. It's the people who gang stalk that are telling this man directions and what to do. One day I went to go get some money from this man because like in the beginning he used to just give me a few dollars in there, and I had went there, and a gang stalker followed me there. And when I went into the yard and parked in the beginning, like the front of the yard, the guy was like in the middle. Cause it's like a U driveway, so he was in the middle of the U, and I was at one end of the U. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fucking hell? And I went, like, he put the money like on the side of the house. So I went to go get it. And the guy was there, like watching. He literally parked his car, got out, stood and watched me. And that's how these people are. Like, they're like, bitch. Like I said, when you are targeted, any person that helps you is in trouble. I had a cousin, they fired her husband, and then a few months later, they fired her. I was like, okay, let me get a job. Because, I'm tired of making people around me suffer because I'm trying to, get help. And, you know, this guy, he doesn't let me see my children. And I really wanted to just, curse him out. But I didn't. And, I started looking online, saying I'm going to just, see how I could petition the court to get my kids. Because this is messed up, I could get my kids at any time. And God said, no, don't do it. And I'm like, but why? It's like, if the people who's gang stalking you are not throwing your kids to you, pushing them to you, telling you, here, take them, and throwing money at you and giving you what you want, then you have not done your job. Moses, and that's what because me and him, we talk, but not on the outside. Like, he's inside of you, and if you can hear him, he'd be like, almost like you have walkie-talkie on or something, and he's talking to you in your head, in your mind. It's consciousness. And he says, well, look at what happened with Moses, right? He said, did you see Moses had to keep going to Pharaoh? Pharaoh called Moses. It was like, take these fucking people. Get the fuck out of here. And, excuse me. I was like, that's how I did it with Moses. You feel me? Look at how he told me. Look at how long it took for Moses to have his shit done. And I was like, okay. So I started researching it. How long did it take for Moses, to have the plagues happen? And it took about a year, and maybe it took a little bit more, I guess. But the thing is, he put the curses on Egypt, the plagues, and you gotta just chill out. And every time something happens, you go back and you play, hey, remember I said this was gonna happen? That's what Moses was doing. And, that's how, I'm doing my thing too. God told me, say all the worst things that could possibly happen. And then, make sure you keep track. And you do like Moses. And every time, something like big happens, you say, remember I told you? And I'm like, okay, but what they gotta do with my kids? And he's like, the thing is, it's about believing what I said to you, one part of the story with my ex that I tell all the time, and it's the reason why I follow this voice, is because it always told me things that no one ever told me. And there's two instances. First instance was when I first met my ex. This is when I always heard the voice, but I heard other voices too. I wasn't sure, and the voice was like, "Listen, don't go with this guy." And I'm like, "Why? He has money. He has a good job. He'd be a great dad." And the voice says, "This guy's a pedophile." And of all the things in the world for this thing to tell me that this guy he did not look like a pedophile. And you have to think about it. You were, working the streets. You're tired of it. You want to relax. And plus, you've been trained to be a housewife anyway, and here's your chance to be a housewife. And boom. And I said, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go with this guy. And the spirit, he says, if you do it, you're gonna regret it. I said, okay. Everything is a contract, even within yourself. When you make a choice, it's a contract. And the spirit's like, before me and this man even engage in a relationship, the spirit says, this guy's a pedophile, right? And if you go with him, he's gonna, and I promise to God on everything, my life right now, on my kid's life. This voice said this to me. You don't know. You think I'm crazy? Why do I follow God? This is why. Other than the fact that He does awesome things, I already, was praying to God. I already believed in God. I was already devoted. But the thing was, this voice followed me the whole relationship. In every single day of our marriage and relationship, this fucking voice was nagging me. And it would say, he's a pedophile. He's a pedophile. He'd be with my son, take my son a bath. He's a pedophile. He'd be alone with my son. He's a pedophile. He'd go to work with my son. He's a pedophile. It's like the voice would not, allow me to rest. So I was like, okay. I started hearing too many voices because they was really using a voice to skull technology on me. And I couldn't really control the voices. So I was like, you know what? I need to see a shrink for a little bit, which was a good idea and a bad idea at the same time. And what happened was, I had, my son finally kind of like spoke to me, and he told me that his father touched him, whatever, and I could understand it. But I'm like, oh shit! So we go to the hospital, do everything, and when the police come, the police come 3 weeks late, and DCF2, and the way they were doing, they had did the theater on me, but I didn't know it. They was bringing us stuff like my children was dead. I had 5 children that had died. The lady was yelling at me, and she was saying that if I don't, bring up them 5 kids or tell her what the 5 kids, she gonna take my 2 kids. I'm like, what are you talking about? Them kids is dead because I had a miscarriage. What are you talking about? And then she looked at the system and she saw that and she said, oh, and she didn't apologize. And the cop was just such an asshole, but that's a part of the theater. They already know they're gonna throw your ass in jail or whatever, but they gotta just put on the act, just in case somebody recording. And the spirit told me, the same voice that told me for years this man was a pedophile, the same voice that told me the man was a pedophile before I even engaged in a relationship. I could have walked away. This is how this program works. This program is a very fucking hard fucking program. It's very hard because, like I said, when you don't know you are playing a game, you will lose every time. And you keep saying to yourself, why does this keep happening? You're gonna just keep going in a loop over and over and over and over. But the loop just gets bigger or smaller, And for me, I was playing a game, but every time I lost, I said, well, why did this happen? And why was this like this? Like, I always question things, And that's the thing with being a targeted individual. You're a bad person because you question things. Good citizens don't question. They just fall in line and believe what everybody else believes and do what everybody else does. Like a good whatever. But the voice told me to record the police, and I didn't record them when we was having the little, whatever. And they totally lied on me. They said I said that I said I could fly, which I can, but I didn't tell them that because I'm not stupid. I know that to the outside world, they would think, you know, that you need a psych eval because, you know, why is it bad to think that you can fly? I'm not on the roof fucking flying off the roof. Just saying, you know, I'm a pretty sane person. Like I said, it's been 1 year and I ain't been getting no fights and, you know, doing great stuff with people, you know? And, godly FP. um, okay, so the stupid idiot cop, man. So they lied on me. I didn't listen to the voice. And, you know, I remember I got the voice around my, like, you know, around after my birthday, which is so funny. But I remember the voice, and you know, they lied on me. I said I could fly, but like I said, I never told them that. They just put that on the paper, and they said I said I could fly, and I wanted to kill myself and hurt other people and all kind of crazy stuff. Just like it put me in a psych ward, and I remember being in the back of the police car, and the spirit saying, "Don't freak out, cause they got a camera over here, girl. They gonna use it against you." So I'm like, okay. So I'm just like, what the hell is going on? And the voice is like, just chill out. Like, you already finna go here. Nothing you can say or do. They're gonna just, you know. And I didn't understand because the thing was that there was nothing I could say or do because this was already the way that these people had planned this to begin with. It was either comply or this was the way. And I did not comply, and this is the way that this non-compliance to these assholes and the pedophilia led me. But that's how the program was working. But the voice is something that is needed in the program. You see, the voice is like a GPS. Without a GPS in the world, you're lost. You might have a map. Your brain is a map. That's what your brain is. Your brain is just a fucking map, a piece of paper. It got some lines and shit on there. Maybe you could follow it. But, you know, compared to GPS, you know? And that's what the Holy Spirit is. And I didn't have it before. Every other time, I didn't have it. And that's why I kept going in the circle over and over and over. And finally, you know, I finally could understand and comprehend the voice. And, you know, it told me, listen, because that's why I follow it. It told me about my ex being a pedo. It told me to record the cops and DCF, but I didn't listen. I mean, it told me like literally everything that's happening now. But it also told me the end, you know? And he said, listen, you're doing a great job. You know, you put in the curses and you believe and you have faith. You're doing a great job, you know? And, you know, you're not supposed to be going to these people kind of like ball court when it comes to your children, because the thing is that you did not give your children up. If you gave your children up, then yeah. But the thing is, they were taken from you for no reason. These people know what they did. They know what they did. You know, don't go to them. They gotta give to you what's yours. They have to give it to you. You know. And I listened. He told me my ex was finna be in jail. That's the first thing he told me. He gonna be in jail. And a lot of people gonna be dead. And a lot of curses, not even a lot, all are gonna come true. And he told me I'm gonna get paid. He told me the target individual program is gonna be like huge. That it's gonna be like, I don't know. He told me all types of stuff about it, but it's gonna end. But it's like gonna be a thing, you know. You know, like Remember Jigsaw? When everybody survived Jigsaw, they had like the group surviving Jigsaw group, and they're like, "Oh, what happened to you? Oh, my arm got chopped off. I had to sacrifice my arm. What's worse? I had to sacrifice my left ball, or something like that." And that's gonna be the targeted individual program. Like it's gonna be, you know, targets, coming from all around the world to meet somewhere and talk about their experience and those kind of little weird things. Like that's what the target individual thing is going to turn to. That's what the Holy Spirit told me though. And he told me a lot of really awesome stuff. And it's like that's why you keep going. Why I keep going. That's what they say. It's a promise. The way that the consciousness works or God works is he gives you a promise. Like you don't just be out here following some blind God or some shit. Like he tells you, listen, if you do this, this is what you get. If you don't do this, this is what you get. That's a promise. And then whenever you know, do what you're supposed to do, you do get that reward. And, that's why I follow the voice, because I literally kick myself in the butt every day, not listening to it. Because the thing is, time is an illusion, literally. When the Spirit tells you something, it might not happen the very second. But just because it's not going to happen the very second does not mean that's not going to happen. That's something that I learned from the Holy Spirit. And that's something that America and all these gang stalkers are going to learn from me and God. Or from God and me, those assholes. You know that? Just because I told you all these things are going to happen to you and it's taking some time, don't mean it ain't gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Just like when the Holy Spirit told me that Raphael was a goddamn pedophile, and it took me about 5 years to really, 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 really be like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. That's gonna be these bitches. You hear me? And I pray don't say no damn 5 years. But if it does, still 5 years is 5 years. It still haven't been. Shh, you know. But anyways, I just wanted to hop on here and talk a little bit. I don't know. One pattern I was thinking that they did is one pattern in love bombing. They do it all the time. One day I was married, and I had did like trick or treating for the children, and I had like, a lot of candy and stuff like that, and everything was okay. But with the gang stalking, I was pregnant with my daughter the first time, but the second time, they made sure that none of the children came to our house for some reason, which I don't know why. They already knew this guy was a pedo, but no little children came, which is weird, which is fine, whatever. But they do stuff like that, like they'll like the first time they do something for you, they'll give you like a lot, but like the next time or the next times, it's like nothing, you know. And today is my birthday. I'm 32 years young, bitches. And these people, I don't know. I just like, what if they like try to like, cause I believe a lot of my family members are gang stalkers too. And what they do is, last year they love bomb me. This year they'll be like, well, nobody call her or text her. And even, my mom's a gang stalker too. They do little stupid shit like that. And I just like, well, I already know all your stupid little tactics, so whatever, But yeah, just figuring out the program. And I love my children a lot, but I love God more. I love Jesus more than my children, than myself. That's the pyramid right there, okay? And if God said I have to wait, I'm gonna wait. I saw that motherfucking SpongeBob cartoon when SpongeBob and Patrick was waiting when they had the conch shell. Y'all need to watch that episode again. It's a really good episode, when you compare it to how you are with God. When that magic conch shell told Patrick and SpongeBob to wait, they waited. They waited in the rain. They waited in bad weather. They waited hungry. They waited, and the conch shell came through. And Squidward was out of luck. But that's how we should be with God. It takes time. That's what the episode taught you. That sometimes things take time, but just because they take time, don't mean that it ain't gonna happen. And you learn that as a child too. When you're a child and you ask your mom for something, your mom might say, "I'll give it to you, but not today." And some kids get impatient and they get in trouble because your mom didn't say no. She just said not today. And that's how God is. He says, yes, but just wait. And that's how it is. I love my children. I wish I could just go to the court and petition for them, but the court is where I went, and they knew the truth, and they pretty much everything was set against me. Like I said, from the jump, everything. If you got these people who spoke to me, they was calling me crazy, a stupid bitch judge that's a pill popping animal, and a stupid fucking DCF bitch who get paid fucking $36,000 a year and wear fucking pale ass shoes and a motherfucking thrift store ass motherfucking suitcase, telling me that I'm insane. Bitch ain't got no motherfucking medical license, clearance, nothing. Bitch work for the state. And just, gang stalking me. Even when they gang stalk you, they'll try to label you crazy. No wonder they kept trying to throw schizophrenia on me. Because I kept saying, like, why these people going so hard? Because there was a black judge. I remember. Of all the people, that's how I don't know what's going on. But of all the people that was in this gang stalking shit, there was one person ever to question. And it probably was a part of this whole thing. I don't know. But there was only one. And the lady said, but that was kind of like what made me even get a lawyer. But that probably was to make me get that stupid lawyer who was a piece of shit and was worth nothing. But the lady said, why y'all know she crazy? She accusing this man of molesting the children. And y'all think listening to her, number one. And not only is y'all not listening to her, but like y'all labeling her crazy and y'all ain't not even no doctor. And after that day, that lady was never the judge again. They kept getting the same judge. There was a white lady named Judge Crow. She's a fucking bitch. And that's why it was like that. Because like I said, everything was planned out. And they kept, if you hear this trial, how they was talking to me, like there was no way that I could present evidence. Like they had a script to follow, and just knowing what it was, because I was saying, well, I don't understand. I had all the evidence. I did this. I did that. I'm a good mom. And the thing was, it doesn't matter what you did. It's that the game was rigged from the beginning. And if you don't have the Holy Spirit and you get in a situation like this, you're just done. This is it for you. But this is it for me. Like I said, I follow and I'm obedient and I'm waiting because this voice was right every time. It's one thing to tell me this man's a landscaper, but you told me he was a pedophile. And this man looked so nice. So nice. So, you never expect anything from him. He's evil piece of shit, just like everybody else. But his appearance did not show pedophile, but this voice was right. And this voice kept telling me different things, and I never listened. But this time, I listened, Sure, I'm not, where I want to be, but I guess I might be where I need to be. I don't know. The thing is that I don't know. The voice told me some pretty awesome promises, so I'm holding on to them, because it feels right about all the other stuff. And what it told me, the results of this whole gang stalking is gonna be. Like he told me, like we're gonna get money like freaking Central Park 5. Mhm. Like big like that, where you get paid, boy. But not everybody. The people who participated any way whatsoever in gang stalking other people, knowingly, you didn't get nothing. No matter what happened. I mean, literally. But that's what the spirit told me. The future is. That's why I put these videos out there because, you know, the future will be here someday. And when the future's here, you know, some people they be like, "Oh, I said that," but how we know, nigga? You know, where's your proof? This is my proof of all the things that I said. You know, that I put a curse on America and a lot of their allies countries too. I had no choice. I had no choice. But at least y'all know the reason why. Because when it come by my kids, I'm motherfucking play. But anyways, have a great day. And happy birthday to the realest bitch.